Okay, hello everybody. Today we're here in Microsoft Flight Simulator 2020 in the Cessna Skyhawk C172. We have a 47 nautical mile flight from 77 Sierra Hobby Field to Romeo Bravo Golf Roseburg Regional. I sprung for the excellent Boris Audio Works sound pack for the C172, so we'll get to hear some awesome airplane sounds for this flight. We'll be using Foreflight and flying VFR. Should be an awesome flight, so let's hop into the pilot's seat and get started. Alright, we'll zoom in to Google Maps and take a look at our route. So we are at Hobby Field, which is just southeast of Eugene, Oregon. We're going to fly southwest, following Interstate 5 until we get to Roseburg Regional Airport. Alright, let's get everything started up here. So we'll start by heading down to our switches and circuit breakers. All the circuit breakers are in and the switches are off. Our parking brake is set and our mixture is to cut off. We've got the trim set to take off. We'll push the fuel shutoff valve in, then we'll head down here and rotate the fuel selector switch through each of the positions and put it back to center. Next we'll head back down to the switches. We'll get the battery and the alternator on. That will automatically turn on the panel and overhead lights, so we'll head over here and turn those back down. That looks good. We'll head up and check the fuel quantity left-right. We've got half a tank in both, which is sufficient for this flight. We'll get the beacon on, crack the throttle a little bit. We'll call clear prop, fuel pump on, mixture into full rich. Once fuel flow peaks, mixture back to idle cutoff, and then we'll bring it in a little bit and turn the fuel pump off. Feet on the brakes, and we'll crank over the starter. Oh, I was too slow with the mixture. Let's try that again. There we go, we've got a good start. We'll bring the throttle in to about 1,000 RPM. We've got fuel pressure, that all looks good. And now we'll lean the mixture for ground operations. Alright, avionics bus 1, bus 2 on. Then we'll head up to the Garmins. And as those are getting all booted up, I'll open up Foreflight and take you through the flight plan. So we've got waypoints set every 10 miles or so. We're departing from Hobby Field, and we're going to follow Interstate 5 south to Cottage Grove. That's an airport and also a town. Then we'll continue following 5 to our next waypoint, which is Drain, and you see an orange icon there. That's a PIREP. We'll talk about that in a minute. We'll turn south and continue following the road until we pass Sutherland and finally arrive at Roseburg Regional. We're running with live weather, so PIREPs are actually pertinent to us, so let's zoom into it, click on it, and you can see that that is a pilot report for turbulence, and it says negative, so there's actually no turbulence there. They were expecting turbulence from a forecast, and they're reporting that everything was nice and calm. Alright, the Garmins are booted up. We've got two CTAF frequencies to work with, 1227 and 1228, so we'll put that on COM 1 and standby so we can toggle through it. We've got 1215 on COM 2, and Roseburg has a VOR, so we may as well use it in the event that we get ourselves lost somehow following one road between point A and point B. So we'll dial Roseburg's VOR frequency into our nav1 slot, and you can see it identifies it, which is good. We'll toggle this into VLOC, and then we'll dial in the radial that we will be flying as we approach Roseburg, which is pretty much south. It's the 180 radial. That all looks good. Finally, we may as well put Roseburg into the GPS, even though we are not flying a straight line there. It's still nice to have it in there so that we can see where we are relative to the airport. The direct key enter is how you do that in real life and also in the sim. We're using Eugene's weather and altimeter settings, so we'll dial that in. It's a little bit above field elevation. Hobby Field traffic, Skyhawk 5207 Quebec, taxi from the ramp to runway 16, hold short, Hobby Field. Now we'll see what the windsock actually says, but based on the wind at Eugene, we're probably going to do a straight out departure from 16. Clear on my left, clear on my right, and clear straight ahead, except for that guy. We're going to pretend he's not there. Normally I give you an update on my real-life flight lessons while we are rolling out on the runway, but I'm going to keep quiet when we get there so you can hear these new engine sounds. Instead, I will babble to you as we're taxiing. So, not a lot of updates. I'm kind of in the dead zone for lessons right now, where the sun sets around the same time I get home from work, so I can't get any daytime flight hours in due to work, and I'm limited to weekends. And then the weekends are really hit or miss. The weather's been crummy lately, so I've had lessons just get canceled due to weather, unfortunately. I've had one lesson with my instructor that was readiness for my stage check with the chief flight instructor, and we did short and soft field landings, engine out landings, no flap landings, kind of all the variations of advanced landings. I am itching to fly some more. When I started taking lessons last spring and summer, I was flying 3 times a week. It would be like a Thursday, Friday, Saturday lesson, which was awesome. And now that I'm in the winter time and I'm doing 3 times a month, it's rough. I kind of feel like I have to review a lot of what I learned from my last lesson again, just due to the lag in time. Since there's no one behind us, rather than pulling into the run-up area, we'll just do our run-up right up here at the hold short lines. Okay, we'll bring the throttle up to 1700. We've already got the mixture in the full rich. And we'll do our mag left check. Got a drop that I can see and hear. Back to center. Now mag right check. Again, drop I can see and hear, same amount of drop, and back to center again. We'll head over to our transponder squawking VFR, we'll get it to mode C altitude reporting, and then we'll head down to our switches, turn off the taxi light, turn on the landing light, and the strobes. Hobby field traffic, Skyhawk 5207 Quebec, departing runway 16 straight out departure to the south at 4,500 Hobby field. And now I'm going to be quiet and just listen to all these engine sounds. That sounded awesome. You could even hear the sounds of the bearings in the wheels as I was accelerating on the runway. Beautiful job. Alright, we're on track. Let's sit back and enjoy that awesome flight simulator scenery. Alright, that was an awesome VFR flight. I am not sure how pilots land at Roseburg in real life because you've got a mountain right where you do your downwind to base turn. I chose to handle it by extending my downwind and then coming around on the other side of the mountain for an extended final. It seemed to work. The Boris Audio Works sound pack is exceptional and it really sounds like an authentic Cessna Skyhawk. I think the price point is just a touch higher than it should be for a sound pack, so I would recommend to them to lower it a bit and they'll probably sell a lot more. But for me, definitely I love flying Skyhawks, so it's a must-have. So I hope you enjoy content like this. If you do, be sure to click that like button, leave me a comment, and don't forget to subscribe. It really helps the channel. Thanks, as always, for flying along with me, and stay tuned for further flight adventures.